Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is Loser to Legend with CLYDE FC, and today we have for you the pre-season spectacular for Season 8 in the Scottish Championship. It's our first ever season in the Scottish Championship division. We got promoted last season. It was outstanding. But for now, let's take a look at our pre-season, and let's start it out by looking at our coach. 30 years old now. Zebu Nation is looking pretty good. We got some double digits now on our ability list. We're 11 attacking, 10 tactical, 10 player knowledge, 11 motivating. So, a lot of 9s in there. For some reason, we're still a really good goalkeeper coach. Not sure why that's happened, but anyway. We finally have full knowledge of Scotland, full knowledge of USA, partial knowledge of Canada, for whatever good that's doing us these days. Not a lot. But we are, still here, still kicking, and let's see if we can push on and improve. Maybe in one of these seasons we'll be able to get another national license. We've been stuck on the B license for quite a while. 2-star reputation. I guess we're going up in the world, so that's good. We got a new contract. New contract until the end of this season, August of this season, $85,000, which we should probably switch that over to pounds. It's been a while since I played this. I've been playing, I went on vacation not too long ago, and then, for the most part, I've been playing Montreal, trying to get them caught up, because that's the daily series is with the Montreal Impact over there in MLS, and this is sort of my weekend series, so sometimes I go long stretches without playing them. So there we go. We did get promoted, as I mentioned last season. It was through the playoffs, so it wasn't exactly expected, but it was definitely what I wanted, definitely something I had been hoping for after sort of the botch job we did the season before that. So it's not completely unexpected. Here's our overview for our coach. And you see it's been, we've been a long time coming. 330 games played. We still got at least one more promotion to go to get us up to the Premiership. So that who knows how many games that's going to take us. Especially considering this season, we might not stay up, which would, I think, be a little disastrous, but maybe not the end of the world. But still, it's going to be a struggle this season. And, it's going to be a long career. Got a long time to go, but still, we've already played a lot of games, and it'd be nice to see even more progress. We're about to score our 500th goal. One more goal, and we'll have 500. We got a 40% winning percentage, which is pretty good. I mean, I'd definitely take that in just about any league in the world. If you can win 40% of your games, you're pretty good, especially in a league with draws involved. So, if you take the draws out, our win and loss percentage is, even better. So, anyway, we don't have a lot of championships, unfortunately. We got one league championship and 2 promotions. So we could use a little bit more silverware as well. But for now, we can take a look at the competition, see what we're expected to do. Just sort of fight bravely against relegation. Reach the 4th round in the Scottish Cup, be competitive in the Betfred Cup, and reach the 4th round in the Iron Brew Cup. So not a lot of stuff we're expected to do this season. It can be just sort of a season of change and adjustment and getting acclimated to the new division, and I think that's a good idea. Schedule-wise, we've played through most of our preseason. We got one more competitive game left. That's in the Betfred Cup. Hasn't been a great run in the Betfred Cup. We got 2 losses and 1 win, but that 1 win was pretty good. It was over Patrick Thistle, 2-1. You can see we played pretty well. Glover is back on defense, and he played outstanding. Got the man of the match, 8.1 rating. Zata was in there with a goal. Let's take a look at the highlights. Patrick Thistle is, of course, one of our rivals, one of our key historic rivals. And I got a comment on one of the playoff videos there that Queens of the South is also one of our rivals. I didn't know that, but we'll check that out. There's Antoniazzi missing the penalty, but then Zata follows it up. And that was our first goal. Here's the 60-minute point. Diver all the way downfield by himself looking for support. Sends it back post, and Macaulay, the young striker, that was a great cross back post. And then here's Patrick Thistle with the penalty to try and even it up. They get within one just 3 minutes later, but that's all they could handle. They couldn't do anything else with it. And we were able to run out the clock and beat them 2-1. So it's nice to beat our historic rival, Patrick Thistle. And you can see they've dropped down to the championship. So we're going to see them this season. And what's even better about the Queen of the South, we beat them to get promoted, but that also sent them down a division. So we're starting to catch up with our rivals, and that's pretty good. That's one of the things we wanted to do in this series, was to bring CLYDE FC back up to where their rivals are. Now, Patrick Thistle, they got a lot of really good players, at least according to our scouts, but we were able to beat them, so maybe their players aren't that good after all. Speaking of players, let's go down the checklist and see what we're doing. Under 20s, we had a youth intake. Again, it wasn't a great youth intake. Take a look at our 16-year-olds, and not a lot going on. We do have two pretty talented, or at least two guys with a lot of potential in terms of 16-year-olds. Dan McGuire and Jay Hunter, both defensive players, both with 3.5-star potential, 1.5-star current ability. They're pretty good. McGuire, the central defender, has good fitness, good jumping reach. He could definitely use some more strength, but he's 6'6", so he's got a lot of room to grow. Good teamwork and bravery, good heading, marking, and tackling. So he's already just like on his way to being a good player. He's already got some player traits. Shoots from distance and avoid using his weaker foot. I'm not real happy with those player traits, but at least he's got some. It makes him a little bit more interesting. Then Jay Hunter, a left fullback. He's improving on, day by day. He's only got 7 pace, though. 7 agility, so he needs to work on his physicals a little bit. Mentally, he's very determined. 17 determination, 15 leadership, work rate. He's okay technically, but he's getting better in those areas, so that's good. He's got 11 tackling, which is something to build on, I suppose. But that's really our best of the youth intake. Again, it was a small youth intake. Not a lot of really good players other than those guys. We got Stephen Milne. He's okay. He's another central defender. We got a lot of those these days. Good jumping reach. Good mentals, positioning, determination, decisions, that kind of stuff. Technically, he's a little behind, but he's okay at 17 years old. Ryan Potter is still down there, the 19-year-old attacking center mid. We got a lot of attacking center mids, so he's not necessarily a great player for us, but he is still one of our top prospects. He's probably our top prospect who's currently in the under 20s. Finances, always a question mark at this level, but things are looking up. We're down. You can see the downward trend here. Ever since we got that injection of cash last season, it's been pretty good, especially this season. We only have a negative 200,000 balance. We have slashed and sliced and burned the payroll. Payroll is down to 591,000 as an upper limit, and we're currently only spending 277,000. So basically half the payroll is what we're spending. And that's allowed us to sort of, ease off on the debt a little bit. August just started, so we got a little bit of a profit of loss, but so far on the season, we've made £124,000, and that's pretty good. Definitely excited about actually making some money these days. Board-wise, we're very secure, 61%. Board confidence, they love our finances again. They love leadership, of course. That's what they always love. Club issues, club stature is on the rise, 61%. Love the payroll budget. Job value, we just got a new contract, so we're at 46%. Develop players using the youth system, still at 50%. Still don't know what they're going to judge that on, but whatever, we're looking good. Club-wise, 1.5-star national reputation, so we're moving up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. As you can see here, the upward trend continues. When we took over, 9th in the league, up to 6th, 4th, 2nd, promotion, then 8th, 6th, promotion. So we're just keep going up, and now we're in the championship division. This is outstanding. Our hot prospect currently is Lee McCart, a guy we didn't really look at. 17-year-old central midfielder, 1-star player, 1.5-star potential. He's just sort of really, really okay. He does have some interest in him from other teams. From a team in the Premiership is interested in him. Got a bid. Motherwell. So we'll see if they'll actually spend some real money on him or not. I don't know that we definitely need to keep this guy. He's just kind of okay, not really a big part of our plans. Key player Antoniazzi is back. Vice Captain Leach, Captain Davies, Head Coach Zebu Nation. We haven't set our captains for certain this season, so these could change a little bit. General in the club, we got some new players here. Sinclair is now a favored personnel midfielder, along with Cudahy, Peters, and King. So all of these names should be familiar. Still no Zebu Nation, though. Darren Miller is still an icon of the club. No Zebu Nation. So we might never actually become a legend. That's too bad. But anyway. Transfers, that's what we're all here for, of course. We've always got some transfers in the hopper this time of year, but let's take a look and see what we've done for real. Not a lot. Not a lot of actual transfers. Let's look at released players. This is where we've done most of our move and where we've gotten rid of most of our salary. Cudahy, released. Peters, Elbuzetti, Parks, Kessie, Miller, Dallas, McLaughlin, Barry, Mullen, and Dakota King. A lot of guys we let go. Some of these guys we can still get back. A lot of them are still available should we need them. Dakota King is still there. I think Peters is probably still out there. Yep, he's still out there. Parks had a huge salary. Dropped him, and he's still available if we need a reserve goalkeeper of some sort. But just these guys were all making so much money. And, a lot of them were getting older. Of course, Darren Miller getting older, released on a free. He's getting ready to retire anyway, so 31 years old. See you later, my friend. Good times and all that. And what we brought in is not much. We've sent Blair Muirhead out on loan, which I don't really know why we did that other than he went on loan to a university, Sterling University, and they had really good facilities. So I was like, you know what, let's send him out there, and he's going to play, he's going to be a starter, he's going to be in a good training environment, maybe get an education. I don't know how that works. But however it is, send him out and see what he can do. Now, basically, the philosophy this season is we're just going to kind of go with what we got. We're going to try to get a lot of our young homegrown players into the lineup. And with that in mind, we went out and got back two of our homegrown players that the board sold out from underneath us early in our career. We got them both back on free transfers. Jordan Manson, the goalkeeper, 22 years old. He's just sort of okay. 13 handling, 12 reflexes. Really backup quality guy. I mean, he never really improved to the level that we thought he would. I guess he didn't get the playing time. Take a look at his career stats here. Yeah, since he left us to Dundee, he got nothing. So he left us in the 2022-2023 season. We got him back. And, yeah, he hasn't done much. And then we went out and got Leon Maxwell. He has improved. Look at this. 4-star player, 4.5-star potential. He looks pretty good. I mean, he has definitely fulfilled a lot of that promise, but he's only 22 years old still. So he still can get a little bit better. He's worth $10.75 thousand, so that's pretty good. 6'3", nice strength and jumping reach. You know, he's a big target there in the middle of the field. He's got leadership and teamwork, so he's going to be a team leader for us, potentially our new captain even. Passing is very good, technique. He's missing a lot of other type skills, but he's very good. And we got him back for free, so that's outstanding. He can play in the midfield a little bit, central midfielder. So we're going to use him all up and down the middle of the field, maybe even on the right-hand side if we need to in a pinch, but don't really want to, but possibly as a wide target man. That's it. That's all we've done so far. Not to say these are the only moves we're going to make. We're probably going to be making, a few moves here and there throughout the season. But for now, just kind of going with what we got. And I guess, take a look at the medical center real quick. Not a lot going on there. We got one injury. Jordan Sinclair is out for a couple of weeks. We got Leach and Critchley coming off some injuries. Got a packed schedule right now. Antoniazzi and Lockheed, both with high injury susceptibilities. Leach, a little bit above average. So we got some issues going on there. Staff, I don't think we made any moves other than just re-signing players. I don't remember. Team report, we never look at that, but there are a number of young, talented youth prospects apparently. Antoniazzi is one of 6 good options in the midfield. Midfield depth, defense, looking good, so that's good. Squad dynamics, this could get a little interesting. But we're good at the moment. Match cohesion is good. Locker room atmosphere is good. We let go a lot of team leaders and a lot of captains. Got no issues going on right now. Hierarchy. Davies is up top. Maxwell has already become a highly influential player. Leach is still up there. Sinclair, Critchley, Finlayson. Pretty much everybody on the team supports us except for a few. Just 3 players, Maxwell, Antoniazzi, and McKay. So I'd like to get those guys on side, but we got the rest of the team, so we don't necessarily need them. Social group, everybody in one except for these 2 youngsters, Milne and Bowles. Guess we can look at happiness. Team happiness, everybody's okay, everybody's sort of slightly happy to happy. That's no problems there. Looking good. All right. Let's, I guess we can, no, we already looked at the schedule. It's just preseason anyway. We don't need to worry about it too much. So let's just get to the team. We're in the Betfred Cup. And basically, I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think we can advance in any way. We got that 1 win over Patrick Thistle, but Dundee United has won all 4 of their games, so we're not catching them. And if we win here, we've only got 6 points, and I don't think that's going to be enough to advance as a second team. So I think we're just playing this game out to play it out, but hopefully we can get a win. Take a look at our team on the bench. We got to play several of our starters on the bench because we have had such a packed schedule. So we got Diver on the bench. Critchley, Antoniazzi, Potter, Glover, Finlayson, and Wilson are all on the bench. I mean, we could start Wilson. There's no reason to put Manson in there, really. As we saw, he's not really that good. He's just sort of an emergency backup kind of guy. We don't even have a third goalkeeper at the moment, so we're definitely thin on goalkeeper. We could use another guy. Maybe we could bring back... we can bring back Parks at a significantly reduced salary, but we haven't tried to negotiate that. But anyway, a lot of starters are on the bench just because we got, we got to save them for the regular season. Potter needs a number. Give him number 19, I suppose. Got new rules in the championship and new challenges. We'll look at that in the next episode in the regular season preview. But for now, as you saw, we got Wilson in goal, Gray and Lindsay at the fullbacks, Gorman and Murray, our youngster from the academy, is in there at defense. Chapman making his debut, another youngster we called up. Zata is in there at the box-to-box midfielder. Leach on the left, McKay making a debut, another academy player. Wallace at striker, and McCauley. More youngsters. So we got a lot of youngsters playing in this game. We'll see if we can make do against a Broth, who are they League One side? Oh, we can't look at them just yet. But anyway, pep talk. Show me what you can do. Opposition instructions. Let's take a look. What does our assistant say? Our assistant actually has some things to say. So he wants us to close down on the strikers. They're just running a regular old 4-4-2. So we'll close down and tightly mark the wingers. And that's pretty much all we need to do. And let's kick off. Let's go. Playing away today. An interesting little stadium they got here. A lot of grandstands. Look like they might have built a stand on the side there. So Broth is a League 2 team. So we definitely ought to be able to beat them. We got some interesting players here. Marcoux. McCrae. 2.5-star type guys. So we ought to be able to beat them, even though we are heavily reserved at the moment. So maybe that wasn't a great idea, but you got to do what you got to do based on the schedule. Sweeney sends one out. We have been playing a lot of the diamond formation lately, and that will probably be one of our predominant formations this season is the diamond. That leaves Leach out of the equation. But I think it might be best for the team as a whole if we stick with the diamond. Because most of our players are, our best players are advanced central midfielders or midfielders. So it's, we should have a midfield heavy formation rather than this 4-2-4 that only has 2 central mids. Because that's sort of, ignoring our strength. And we are incredibly thin at wingers. Basically, when we play this formation with our starters, we have 2 of our advanced center mids out playing wings and out of position. So maybe that's not the best way to do it, but, we can cause some different problems out there. Like we can put one of our wingers at advanced playmaker. Here's McCauley now looking for a counterattack. Gets it back to Zata. His pass is intercepted. Not so good. Marcoux sends it downfield. That's going to be picked up by Lindsay. No, he just heads it on. Ward sends it forward, but Gorman is there. Gorman, why are you over there? Way out of position. He's supposed to be on the left-hand side, but, there he is. Get back in position, my man. McCrae. Murray, the youngster, bombs it forward. They seem to be ready for us bombing it forward, unfortunately. Murray can't get a hold of that one. Gorman doesn't come over. Not happy about that. I mean, this game is mostly meaningless, but I would definitely like to win a game versus a League 2 team. We've played a very difficult preseason. A lot of championship teams, a lot of premiership teams just to get ready for the grind of this season, and it hasn't actually gone that well. We lost a lot of games in this preseason, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see if we might need to bolster things up a little bit. But if we can't beat a League 2 team, we're going to be in trouble. I mean, this season we're going to have to go with our starters quite a lot anyway because our backups are all so young and so inexperienced and so, not actually very good. We are going to be heavily reliant on our starters. So the fact that we're playing a lot of reserves in this game is not great, but there's Lindsay with a nice steal. McKay gets it forward. Wallace looking. He's surrounded. He chips it forward. McCauley on the back post. He gets the head on it. McCauley suffered a bruised head. He can play through it. All right, that's good. Yeah, he doesn't even have the injury list. He just sort of went down a little bit on condition. All right, here's Leach with a corner. Near side sends it in. Morrison picks it up. So I think if we get any significant injuries, we're going to have to rethink our position and maybe go out in free agency and get somebody who's a little bit more expensive. Because I feel really, really shaky about this club. I feel like we're just on a knife's edge in terms of, being a bad team. We've played well in spurts. Like you saw, we beat Patrick Thistle, so we can play with a lot of good teams, but it's just having this lack of depth just is not what I'm used to, not at all. Last season our squad was a little bloated, there's no doubt about that. But we had depth to cover any kind of injuries or any kind of formation shift we needed to make. And this season, it's not going to happen. "15 minutes down, let's go." Wilson bombs it downfield. I am losing steam a little bit on this save. I don't want to say oh, here we go, Wallace. Wallace, can he make a play? Can he get it? That's an interesting pass to Leach. Leach gets a head on it. Ooh, there's some thunder. No, I don't want to say that we're getting ready to wrap it up or anything like that. But we do need to freshen it up somehow. Hopefully being in the championship will freshen it up a little bit. Letting go a lot of the old players might freshen it up a little bit. But we need... Here's McCauley. Can't win the header. Chapman down to Leach. We need something to happen in terms of the board, in terms of the facilities, the fans. Something needs to be... Some sort of energy needs to be injected into this franchise. Because we keep getting promoted and the club keeps staying the same. I got a little bit disheartened a couple seasons ago when we dropped down from a professional club to a semi-professional. And nothing has really gotten better since, facilities-wise, coaches-wise. Even myself, I haven't been able to improve my coaching badge or anything like that. There's Wallace going forward. Yes, Wallace on the score. The youngster, stuff like this will help. If some of our youngsters can start developing, that would be very nice. So Wilson Just says, forget about it. I'm going to bomb it forward as far as I can. Pinpoint pass to Wallace. 1 touch and a goal. Let's take a look. Oh, here we go. No time to look at Wallace. Here's Gray with a corner. Sends one in. Ball over. Usually something like that results in a penalty, but no, Macaulay has to go back for it. Chapman just sort of fires it, but we're going to win a throw in out of it. Almost said a corner. So let's look at Wallace here. 19-year-old striker, 13 finishing, only 8 composure. Determined. But, I mean, other than that, he is not good. This isn't the kind of guy that you build a team around, you know. Nice work rate, I suppose. First touch. You saw his first touch in action there. But he's really a stopgap sort of player. He doesn't have a ton of potential. At 19 years old, he's already a little old to be looking like this. So, I don't know. And without improvements in our youth facilities, it's going to be hard to build a youth club. So I don't know that we've really been able to find a formula that's going to work with Clyde. Here's Leach. I mean, we're playing players like Leach not because he's a great player, but just because he's all we got, and it's sort of sentimental to be able to play our own academy-bred players. There's Chapman. Chapman wins one back to McKay. Zata, he keeps control of it. Tries to chip it forward. McRae gets tackled, but Ward is there. Nice stop by Wilson. So you look at a lot of these players that we're playing, and they are not championship caliber players. They're not even like they're not even League 1 caliber players. Barely League 2 caliber players. You know, you look at Leach. He's got some speed, he's got some flair and leadership, a little bit of crossing, a little bit of free kick taking. But he's not really very good. Gray, a terrible header. McRae, oh, what a stop by Wilson. Wilson just keeping us in this game. Let's tell our boys to concentrate. That would be good. No more stupid plays. Heath, Chapman wins it at midfield. Macaulay looking for somebody. Out wide to Gray. Back to Chapman. Wide to Leach. Zata gets it forward to Macaulay. Wallace with another shot. Can't get this one past the goalkeeper. But yeah, so I don't know what's got to happen. You know, hopefully this season is successful, not just on the field, but also financially. And if that happens, you know, maybe we get another injection of cash from the board, and that allows us to get some better facilities, which would, you know, just help us for the future. It is a little disappointing to think like this is what we're going to be doing for the next 10 seasons, just sort of scraping by, trying not to put the club in disastrous debt. Because we could do that again this season if we wanted to. The board is giving us the rope in which to hang ourselves. I'm going to try not to do it. Morrison. We don't have the scouts to really go out and find great players. And even if we did find great players, they don't necessarily want to come play for us. That was a good save by Wilson again. You're going to get a ball past him sooner or later. Let's hopefully they wait till the second half to do that. It's Ward. Corner kick. Headed out by Gorman. Nobody from our side chases the ball down, though. Bowie has it. He's deflected by Leach. Leach up to Chapman. Minute and a half remaining. Chapman can't get by the defense. 5 seconds to go in extra time here. And there's halftime. All right, 1-1 halftime. That's okay. Gorman has lost possession more than any other player. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Lindsay's been booked. McCauley's got a bruised head. So now the question is, do we bring on some other players to sort of give us a little bit of boost in this second half? You know, we could bring Antoniazzi in at the right-hand side for McKay. McKay's 16 years old. I mean, he's held his own out there, but we'll bring Antoniazzi in. Let him play out there. We could bring in Diver for McCauley. He's played okay. Gray has not played very well. We don't really have anybody to sub in. We could move Gorman out. Bring Glover in. Do we want to make all three of our subs at halftime? Bring in Lindsay. Gorman out for Gray. Glover. Yeah, I guess. Sure. I mean, this isn't a friendly, so we can't make as many subs as we want. There's Glover. He should settle things down. And Gorman. So hopefully they're not sort of as unimpeded towards the goal as they were in the first half. They just sort of were getting some free shots, and it's only because Wilson was playing so well. Wilson's our highest rated player. That's no good. Oh, no. Zata has picked up an injury of some sort. Don't know what it is, but he's getting a little better. I didn't see anything go by on the ticker. But we used our 3 subs, so that's the danger of doing that. Their midfielder Bell is also likewise not looking too well. So maybe the fact that we've shored up our defense is now going to turn the game into a stagnation affair, because they're not going to get all those shots. Oh, maybe they will. Here's Ward with a free kick. Headed out. There's Antoniazzi. See if he can start a counterattack. Gets it to Wallace. Wallace, he's got a man on the outside if he gets it to him. Murray, the central defender, what are you doing? Chapman up to Wallace. He gets it stolen. He gets it back across to McCauley for the header. Just don't have a lot of firepower up front to be able to score goals. I mean, McCauley is pretty okay. 14 finishing, only 7 composure, though. And he's our main backup at striker. This is, not what we're used to. He's not very fast. He does have some quickness and some finishing. Free kick taking, I guess. Here's Leach with a free kick. Drops it back. Chapman takes a shot. Nope. I think half the team was offside there anyway. But we are just so thin. We can't handle an injury to a player like Zata. That's no good. I mean, if anybody that we could handle an injury to, it is one of our midfielders, so that's not the worst thing in the world, but it just brings more and more young, inexperienced players into the playing group. Here's Morrison. Sends one downfield. Gorman's going to head that one. Leach picks it up eventually. Chapman. Zata turns it over, but gets it back. Big crack of thunder outside as we turn the ball over. Sweeney, though. Finlayson up to Antoniazzi. Bounces it off of Zata. Come on, boys. Oh, great through ball to McRae. Sit wide. Let's give him another old concentrate. So we get a highlight here. Sweeney to Ward. We got a pretty competent defense in there, but they still get behind it. Good stop by Wilson. They seem to be going after Glover for some reason. Oh, Gorman is injured. Ain't nothing we can do about that. Bruised foot. Concentrate on that bruised foot, my man. They've got some injuries too. Ward, bad shot. Awful. Terrible. Get out of here with that. So Gorman and Zata are both going to have to limp their way through the end of the game because of my brilliant coaching decision to make 3 subs at halftime. Now you know why professional coaches don't do that, just because they look like fools when they do it. And it's a little different when, like 100 people are watching a YouTube video as when, like 1 million people are watching you on the game of the week or whatever. Or even at this game, like if this was a real game and you got like a couple of thousand people in the stands who are invested in the club, they're going to be grousing about it. They're going to be talking to the local paper, right? Every local paper is going to have a sports writer talk about the local club. And no coach wants that. Here's Leach on the outside. Oh, what a terrible cross. But Wallace is going to get to it. Drops it to Finlayson. Centers to Antoniazzi into Chapman. Macaulay wide open. Great play. Chapman. I didn't think that pass was going to go anywhere. But he got it to Macaulay. And that's what Macaulay can do. He can finish. So there we go. We might actually win this game. Finlayson, Antoniazzi heads it on Chapman. Nice little back pass. And then the goalkeeper was not prepared for that shot at all. He was still looking left. And Macaulay shot it right. Okay. There's the ball. Hello. This is interesting. I've never seen this happen before. Sort of everybody walking back to the starters line. Bowie gets a yellow card for what? We're going to show this replay again. What is this? Did he complain and want VAR or something? And get a yellow card because of it? I don't know. Huh. Anyway, 5 minutes of stoppage time has been added. Zata is down to 40%. He's going to pass out on the field. Glover gets it up to Macaulay. The other thing I like about Macaulay is that he's pretty versatile. He can play target man or attacking advance forward equally as well, which you don't see very often in lower league players, or especially young lower league players. So it's good that he's got that kind of versatility. Finlayson's going to win that easy. Bombs it downfield for Macaulay to Wallace. If they hurry, they got a 3-on-2. Bad pass. That starts the attack going the other way. They got a 3-on-2 going the other way. Glover, though, breaks it up. Zata, nice comeback. Way to go. Injury or no, he's going to keep playing. Oops, he gets in the way there. Offside. McCraig, thank you. Two minutes of stoppage time. Macaulay downfield. Gets to it first. Drops it back for Chapman. Chapman into Zata. Nope. All right. Got a minute and a half left. Gorman wins the header. Gorman's picked up an injury. Leach to Macaulay. Macaulay gets tackled. Allen on the attack. He's got 3 men at the back post, but Murray breaks it up. Way to go, young man. Marcoux wins a corner kick. So I like Murray. He is one of our better prospects. But again, I mean, he's like a 2-star guy. And that's the best we got to work with, but still, it's not enough. McCauley's not even going to go after that one. No need. There's Morrison. Bomb it downfield again. Losing headers on the back line. I don't like that. There's McCauley picking it up again. Wallace is going to start the attack, perhaps. Loses the ball. It's not really good to have inexperienced strikers at the top of this formation because turnovers easily result in a counterattack because we don't have enough guys back. But at any event, we get the 2-1 victory. You see what I mean about this club just on a knife's edge. Are we good enough? Are we not? Are we going to win games? Are we going to lose a lot of games? I don't know. I can't tell at this point. It's very disturbing to me. I got an uneasy feeling going into this club or going into this season. Good win, boys. Let's leave the match. So we got another final game versus Southend. Not even sure who they are or why they're on our schedule. Skybet League One team. So they're probably pretty good. 2.5-star reputation. They've just been promoted from League 2. 2 seasons ago. Last season they finished 11th in League 1. So they're on their way up. So we could be in for another shellacking. You know, last team we played from Skybet was Wigan, and they beat us 5-2. So I don't know that it's going to be all that successful of a preseason before we get to our first game against Livingston in the championship. We got a lot of new teams to get accustomed to, but we've played a lot of these teams. You know, Stonehousemuir is there. Livingston. Stenhousemuir. These guys again, they're gonna screw me up all season. I want to call them Stonehouse, but they're Stenhouse. Wraith, we're familiar with them. Patrick Thistle, obviously. Dunfermline, played them quite a bit. So we're very familiar with the teams we got coming up, but they've always been big challenges for us. So we're going to see. All right. So that's the end of our preseason spectacular. Not a lot to talk about, honestly. But we did just receive $26,000 for finishing 3rd place in the Betfred Cup, so that's good. Financially, look at that. We've broken the $200,000 mark. So that's good. We're going to continue our road towards profitability. Hopefully that continues for the rest of the season. And hopefully we can, eke by this season. Pinch some pennies, get some money in the bank, and then see if we can find some, use the Moneyball strategy and see if we can find some young players. It's hard to do the Moneyball strategy when you got garbage scouts and scouts who can't go outside of the Scottish borders, really. But hey, we're going to have to find the best Scottish players we can on the cheap. And I don't know how possible that is, but we'll see. All right, so we'll come back next time for our season preview, and then we'll get going on in the championship in earnest. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
There's a team they call the CLYDE, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper.